Hey Mookie, how you been?
Inga, great to see you on the West Coast. I'm over here. You're a few hours different
Oh yes, definitely. Yeah,
on the south.
yeah,
On the south.
yeah. Where are you looking at in South Carolina, right?
Yeah, I'm in Charleston, South Carolina, down
Yep,
south.
yeah. I'm in Las Vegas, Nevada, so we're kind of definitely different time zones here.
Love it. We're hours apart, but yet we are right here
Yeah,
together.
right.
Yes.
It's amazing how the internet works. All
Thank you. Thank you, Internet.
right. So, what would you like to share about your journey with autism with your son?
Well, first, I want to thank you for having me here. Let me be a part of your platform. If you see right here, hashtag We Are Roman. My son is Roman, and we've started a movement behind that actually began with a book. I'll show you right here. It's behind me,
Mm.
but right here it's called Letters to My Son Roman, Love on the Spectrum.
Yeah,
So Roman is nonverbal. He's 6 years old now, and the book is actually a compilation of my personal letters I started writing to him before he was born.
oh,
I've shared this before, but I had a health scare like weeks, maybe 6 weeks before he was born,
mm,
and it was one that made me stop to go, wait, I need to be able to share with him. I don't want to, I might have been overly dramatic, but the point is it was a legitimate scare, and I wanted to make sure that he knew that I loved him
mhm.
going into his birth.
Yeah,
And so I would talk to him in the belly with his mom. His mom would let me. She would endure me talking to the belly, and and then I just started writing what I was feeling, just letting him know that I love him. And so then he was born,
mhm.
and I continued to write to him. Now this was before I learned we learned of his diagnosis that he was on the spectrum, and of course before we learned that he was nonverbal. And so you'll see in the book the progression of,
Yeah,
just a father's love, and that would continue into new forms of communication. And but Roman, so from the book, I just uh, first of all, the book blessedly went #1 on all the formats on Amazon, so I was grateful for that. And but what that did is it brought attention to love on the spectrum and in my personal world. And I started engaging with the autism community in general, and particularly families who have children, and more specifically who are nonverbal. And I started not only receiving support from all ends of the world, all ends of the spectrum, but I started listening to stories from moms and dads, particularly moms, keeping it frank here, because this is mostly a mom's burden. Uh, Incredible, passionate, and sometimes heart-wrenching stories of the challenges of being a parent to a beautiful child who is autistic. And in my case, Roman doesn't speak, so I speak a lot, which you're probably all your listeners and your watchers are already finding out. But in this case, I'm glad to, because I aim to be the voice for my son and for all those who are nonverbal. I have a microphone, I often say, and sometimes some spotlight from the things that I do in life. So what better way to use it? And then from that book, we began. I hooked up with some friends locally who have a lot of resources and wonderful influence, but who really support this movement, I call it. And we began Women's World Foundation, which is a soon to be nonprofit to support and assist and advocate and continue awareness for the autism community.
That's great. I mean, that's really great. I mean, it's very inspiring what you did. I mean, especially since coming from your your scare of your life. You weren't sure if you're going to make it to be able to even actually meet your son and actually grow up with your son. So I mean, that's it's really it's great that you actually took that initiative to actually write letters to him and actually communicate with him, even though he wasn't even here yet. I mean, that's amazing. So he got
It's
to learn about you before even he was even born. So that's great.
It's something, because again, oftentimes what starts out as one thing,
Hmm.
if you continue, it ends up another thing, because it wasn't a book. It wasn't even a thought of a book.
Yeah.
But as the letters started to pile up,
Hmm.
it I don't know, something about it read like a book. And because I had recently released my very first book, which was a memoir of my time in my years in the record business, it kind of, I don't know, it led the way into a book, and it was seamless. And some other things happened in my life that made it poignant right now to do this. Because I didn't intend on even doing this now. This was some later on down the road. Well, I'm busy with this book, which was only released in January. Who does that? Who puts out another book 6 months later?
Yeah.
Well, I believe in the importance of now and the truth about now. So I put it out, and miracles ever since. And I'm just grateful for the support that's come from my city of Charleston, South Carolina, from this whole country, people around the globe. It's I can't even, like, I'll start crying here on this show.
Yeah.
But it's just, it really, I'm not some prof- professor in the space.
Mhm.
But what I am is, I am an autism dad. I have lived this for 6.5 years. Along with his mom, his wonderful mom, and his extended family, grandmom and granddad, who pour everything into this boy, who pours just so much back into us. And that made me understand that, this is truly my first impactful experience with someone on the spectrum,
Mhm.
who happens to be my son. But it has changed my life. And now I've always had an empath's quality when it comes to do with people who just need access, and just need to be heard. And
Yeah.
now it's literally the case. So I'm here for it.
Yeah.
And
That's
it's all
great.
good.
I'm so happy about that,
Yeah,
and
we are Roman. That's what I say. We all are Roman. It isn't just, one thing I'll share, and again, I'm blathering, but it isn't just the individual
Mhm.
who is on the spectrum. I'm aiming to reframe that. If you have as you have a beautiful boy
Yes.
who's autistic.
Mm.
If you have a son, a child, a family member, a friend who is on the spectrum, someone you care about, you are,
Yeah.
because you live the life with them. So I say it's autism families. I don't know if it's politically correct. I don't care. I'm not
Yeah.
running for office. I
Yeah.
know that I'm part of an autism family, and that's a point of pride for me,
Mhm.
because what my son lives, I live.
Exactly.
But it's a joy. It's a joy. I believe I'm learning more and receiving more in
Mhm.
terms of a certain unique way of seeing and living in the world, that is freedom from all the things that we we present ourselves. I'm doing it now, frankly. But my little guy, he doesn't present anything. He is who he is. And I can learn from that. I think many of us can,
Oh, yeah.
but anyways.
Yeah. No, yeah, yeah. I believe I truly believe that. I mean, we all learn from our experiences with our little ones, our journeys and everything else. I mean, like I always say, it's a never ending learning journey. I mean, we're just constantly learning from them, and they teach us how to see the world differently. You
Yes,
know?
yes.
And that's why I actually enjoy it, because, it's actually, it kind of gets you to kind of like slow down a little bit and realize what the world is about. Because,
Mhm.
once you have a child on the spectrum, it's just like, wow, there's so much more you can learn about this world, and there's so much that that you didn't know, because you didn't sometimes you don't have the time to actually slow down and realize, okay, this is what I need to do, this is how we should teach our kids, because it's just like there's so many different ways, and people think there's only one way, and not some people, but sometimes people think there's only one way to teach a child, but there's
Well,
multiple ways.
especially that's an excellent point about the slowdown, because
Mhm.
Lord knows I need to slow down. Again, part of my health care was related to that fact. So let's just get that out there. But
Yeah.
the point is, there's some, we talk about autism awareness,
Mhm.
but the seed of it is in I'll say, at least in my experience, in the children on the spectrum, because it does what you say. It almost forces you to have to slow down because you have to be aware. You have to pay attention even more so. And I'm the father of 5, so I'm not a stranger to being a parent. But
Mhm.
this has it's made me revisit that,
Mhm.
and it's almost like I'm a new dad again. I
Yeah.
have a son who's 33 years old, and I
Wow.
raised him,
Yeah.
but it's like it's brand new to me in a good way. There's also, you brought another point. You said that, and I believe in this. I'm glad that, we're one in this, that, although part of the reason for Romans World Foundation is definitely for fighting for more access to programs, fighting for more experience, more awareness, more accessibility, funding. Frankly,
Yeah.
these things cost money,
Mhm.
but also on the other side of it, there is a happiness. You said that.
Yeah.
You said it, and you're right. There's a joy that is incomparable to anything else. So no disrespect to my other kids, Christian, Mercy, Sophia, Savannah, if you're watching, I love you. You guys have brought me nothing but joy. But this little guy has taught me given me a new perspective on happiness.
Yeah.
And you nailed it with that. So
Yeah.
it's we learn from them, not only learn, but there's so much more I've received than I'm doing or giving or trying to make happen. Yes, the mission is clear. Our families on the spectrum, they need a moment. They need respite. That's part of what our foundation is about. We want to give moms an opportunity to go get your hair did and nails done and have a moment. And where you don't have to worry about your guy. We got you. We can provide that. We can give you that. We can offer that. A hotel stay, an opportunity with your spouse. Because as I'm sure you know, but I'm going to state clearly, uh, the
Yeah.
stat, again, I'm not the stat guy, but I believe it's somewhere upwards of 80 to 85% of parents with children on the spectrum, particularly young children, they don't make it. They
Mhm.
get divorced or they split up. Me and Roman's beautiful mom, she's a wonderful woman, Lindsay, we didn't make it.
Mhm.
So I'm going to be transparent, but that's okay. We are making it now for our boy,
Mhm.
doing what we have to do. But you know, part of what makes part of what drives me in this, and what originally got me even into the writing of my first book, this experience, and going further, is I need to, you know, I want to share my experience because it is that will resonate most. I can't be over here just talking to people and saying that I believe in it. No, I
Yeah.
want you to know the challenges, the
Mhm.
struggles, not only with the child himself, which, you're no stranger to.
Oh yeah.
There are many challenges,
Oh yes.
but it's not just the individual. Like I
Mhm.
said, it is everyone involved. I mean, if you have children, other children, there's sometimes a dynamic there that's a new challenge, to where, because there's so much care. And I think we talked about this, that has to be directed towards, rightfully so, towards your child that has autism.
Mhm.
Sometimes the other guys, it's almost like they're missing out because you're just a person. We're
Mhm.
all human out here. So I
Yeah.
don't
So much. Yeah.
I'm a hopeful dude, but I want to paint the truth. I want to be transparent. So
Mhm.
all of this is what propelled me, and what compelled me into just putting my time and energy and everything I got into this, starting with my boy. It's
Mhm.
that simple. Had there not been my boy, maybe I wouldn't. So,
Yeah.
but here we are.
Yeah. They change our lives, don't they?
Yes, yes.
Okay. No, that's great. I mean, I thank you for sharing all that. I really truly appreciate it. I mean, everything that you touch points on, like, what the whole marriage is and about siblings. I mean, everything, that's the thing, when you have a kid on the spectrum, all that stuff comes into play. I mean, it's sad, but then also it's true, it's like you have to also, you have to figure out ways to get things to work, your relationships with others. Even though you're
Daily.
concentrated on your one, your child on the spectrum, it's still you have to find time, find, ways to get the other ones involved also. That's what I ask. that's what basically what I did. I got my husband
That's great.
involved. I got my oldest involved, with the whole everything else, and so I think that helps a lot, just involve them more,
That's greatness.
So I think that's kind of a key,
Great. That's a great pointer. I need to do more of that. I want to share something too. There's something cool. Like now, you can find, even in the challenges, you can find, it's just goodness. I come from the recording business, so call them celebrities, call them artists, or whatever, and I've dealt with tons of them. And so I've been recently, along with my partner, Chef Brett McGee, who's a celebrity chef, and Laura Patrick, who's an attorney, an entrepreneur, a philanthropist, a business owner. We've just been doing all this research, and you'll find now two things: that there are many celebrities who are going full throat into sharing their experience. Recently, I watched Colin Farrell share his experience with his son who has Angelman's syndrome. I've watched the Kelseys, Jason and forget the mom's name. I'm drawing a blank, but who their child's on the spectrum. We can go for the Sylvester Stallone, Tony Braxton. It goes on. My dear friend and superstar songwriter, producer, artist Donnell Jones. He has a grandson who's on the spectrum, and his daughter wrote a children's book. Like, you'll find there are more people, thank goodness, are opening up, sharing their experience. So now that's why I get back to now's the time, because awareness is finally, I don't want to be crass, but I come from a world that's marketing and promoting and entertainment. The bottom line is all eyes are on the spectrum. There's the famous Love on the Spectrum, that Netflix show that's done incredible. I've actually had the opportunity to engage with Nikki Smith, who's the mom of Tanner Smith, who's on the show. They're from South Carolina. They shared about Roman's book, and it was just beautiful. So I'm going to give you the news update. You heard it first. We're aiming to get the two. Tanner, I believe, is 20. He's in his 20s, and Roman's 6. But we're going to get the two together, and I think it'll be something cool. So I will bring that back to you. But my point in this is that awareness. People speak of autism awareness. That is awareness, because spotlight, attention, the entertainment world. If they don't do anything else right, which they do tons, they get that part. In order to do any of the things, grant any of the access, move things to Congress, get things in front of folk, they have to know about it. And knowing about it is getting in front of as many podcasts like we're doing, getting that message out there. So again, whether I have people, they have charts, they have graphs, they have stats, they're medical, all of the things. But what Mookie has is a microphone and this, our box right here.
Yes.
And it's more important that people know that's my offering to autism awareness. And I'm grateful to see this happening on a grand scale, because while we're local, we're going global.
Yeah.
We are growing.
Yeah, exactly. I forgot to ask you too, because you're talking about your son.
Yes.
I forgot to ask, did you want to share like a few proudest moments with your son?
Absolutely. Well, I can say this, he's nonverbal and pretty significantly so, but there was a moment when he turned 4, and he'd been working with a therapist here in Charleston, where he finally, and I'll share with you the video, I'll send you the clip, where he opened up and said, I think it was bye-bye, and then he began to finally say a couple other words, and I caught it on film. And most importantly, again, I'm a dad of 5. I'm no stranger to it. But some of my most memorable and significant moments with my prior children were through verbal communication.
Yeah.
So I think of Roman's mom. Again, I say to all you moms of autistic kids, y'all rule.
Okay.
But to think of my mom, Roman's mom, not having the opportunity to hear him say mama, that's the one. If you want to know what really moves my heart and what makes me relentless, it's that. Because I know the impact of that on my own heart. I want that for her. Now, granted, we're not in control of what happens, but we can do all we can do. So Roman's mom, that's what motivates me. And all the other moms and all the other stories that have been shared with me of moms, I call it autism family, my autism moms. So,
That's great.
yeah.
So has he said mom yet, or is he still working on it?
He has said it again, it's through prompts.
Mhm.
So I'm hoping that one day he just comes out and says, Mom, or I love you, Mom. That'll be it. I'll feel like that's my new platinum record. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and he's doing plenty. He's on the come up, and
Mhm.
his destiny is for greatness. I have
Yeah.
no doubt.
That's great. Has he said dad? Has he said your name?
Well,
Like,
again, with prompts, he'll say,
mhm.
Daddy, literally like that. And I have it on film. I will send it to you, prompt or not. It's the most
Yeah,
heartwarming thing,
of course. Yeah.
when he says it, when I hold his phone and he wants it back and he goes, please, Daddy. I'm like, woo, let's go.
Yeah. Then you just want to take everything away from him, right? Make him go, okay, here, keep saying
Yes,
it.
yes, yes. Whatever I gotta do, say it. Speak to me, boy. But
Yeah.
I love him. We communicate in so many other ways. So I'm grateful no matter what the future holds, but we're here to do the work now.
Yeah. Oh, it's great.
Roman.
Great to hear. Yes. Did you also want to introduce yourself to the audience? Because I know you've been
Oh,
saying all kinds of
right.
different things, but
Yes, yes. Here I am. I do it quick. I know I go over. Jonathan Mookie Morant. I'm a songwriter. I'm an author of 2 best-selling books. Can't believe it. Both went #1. The Happy Has Been is back there. And Letters to My Son Roman, Love on the Spectrum. And now I'm a full-time advocate for the autism community. And we have Roman's World Foundation. Stay tuned. We'll give you the website, all the stuff, the links. We need your help. We need your financial support. So do kick in. I'll give you the Venmo, whatever. But we appreciate you, Inga, and this is greatness right here. Love you. Thank you.
yes, thank you. Yeah. And did you also want to say how they can contact you? I mean, I knew you said that there's some links and everything, but did you also just want me to?
Absolutely. I'm Instagram. My kids got me up on things. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Jonathan Mookie Morant. I will respond to you can message me, and I'll also share my emails and again the website and everything else too. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, and I'll also include that stuff in the bio or in the description too, for giving you like a bio and contact information for everyone to contact you also.
Thank you. Thank you.
And
Thank
also,
you.
did you also want to share how you actually help the autism community? Because I know there's lots of things you do, but I know you
Well,
seem like We Are Roman, and
yeah. Well,
and there's so much.
definitely. Well, this is there. Stay tuned for the campaign. We are Roman. I want to suggest that uh, this foundation started strictly because of my experience.
Mhm,
But now it's deeper than that, and I have a lot of support, and it's gaining steam. So our idea is that we're not. It isn't you over there. I've heard from single moms. I've heard from full families. I've heard from professionals. See, oftentimes you'll see people in need, and that's who we're here for. But the stories of the professionals and people, CEOs who have their experience with their own children or their people in their family on the spectrum, they're just as heartwarming and they're just as real.
yeah,
Your neighbor, everyone has a neighbor, I can promise you, that is involved or has someone on the spectrum. So that's what I mean by we are Roman. We all are this. And
mhm,
if we can engage and embrace that, this moves the needle. I see it in small. I've already seen it even since the book and since we've started into the building of this foundation. So we aim to continue, and with people like you, Inga, spreading the word in your own experience, and if others join us, people out there. I mean, we can take this thing global and really help lift this community up. That
mhm.
oftentimes, again, literally, not just figuratively, doesn't have a voice of their own, like my.
Exactly. Yeah. No, I agree. Yeah. I mean, that's great. I mean, I think that's really great what you're doing. I mean, it's definitely going to help, for everything, more awareness, and the more we get out, the more
I'm a
better.
soldier. I'm just a soldier who I'm an autism dad. That's all I am. But I'm a big mouth.
Yeah.
And I finally, and now I have a purpose for it. I always been a big mouth, but now I'm gonna be probably bigger mouth. But
Yeah. Hey,
I
whatever
got
works,
people
right?
now. I got y'all now, so we're good.
Yeah. All right. And did you want to share anything else?
Uh, I think I have spoken quite enough. Please we'll have the links, but please pick up the book. Proceeds are also going to go towards the foundation. So you're doing twofold. You get to hear my heart, my experience, and then we want to hear from you. We're forming a page that will go through the website to where, just like I wrote letters to my son, Roman, Love on the Spectrum, we want to hear from other families. Maybe you'll write a letter to your child or to your loved one, and with your permission, we'd like to share it and collaborate. I mean, the point of this is we are here for you. Let's do this together. It isn't me, it's we.
Yeah.
So that's everything.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
Okay. Well, thank you for so much for being such a great guest, and I appreciate everything you shared. And we're definitely looking forward to everything else that you're gonna, bring out, and it's gonna be great.
We will keep in touch.
Oh
I'll
yeah.
holler back at you at each phase because we're on a mission and don't intend on stopping.
Yes, definitely come back and share more. I mean, definitely let us know what's going on.
Thank you.
I'd love to hear more.
Thank you. I'll be here. Appreciate you.
It was great talking to you.
Thank
Bye.
you. See you soon.